Welcome back, everybody. Time for some more Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, and it's been a while since I've visited any of the historic battles. But having played yesterday Atlantic Fleet and being able to sink the German battleship or possibly battle cruiser Scharnhorst got me to thinking about the Scharnhorst historical fate, which was at the Battle of the North Cape. And I thought I'd give that one a go and see if, against extremely long odds, I could have a different fate for the Scharnhorst. Scharnhorst, the Battle of the North Cape was pretty one-sided, and Scharnhorst, calling it a battleship's a bit of a stretch. It only had 11-inch guns, but it did have some decent armor and a decent amount of speed. So it was kind of, a hybrid between battleship and battlecruiser. So we're going to try to rebuild Scharnhorst as best we can. Again, as usual, it's not going to look like the Scharnhorst. I have to go with what the game will give me. So I had to go with the Dreadnought 4 hull, even though I could go all the way up to Super Battleship 2 with 1935 technology, which is what I'm using. It also, I can't quite replicate the length with the weight available. Going to any one of these ships is just way too big. The Scharnhorst was about 770 feet long. This particular incarnation is going to be 708 feet long, and we're still going to end up being over on weight. There's just nothing really I can do to avoid that. So I'm just trying to replicate performance as best I can, even if it doesn't look exactly right. So we've got the three 11-inch gun turrets. We've got three of those. We've got our 6-inch guns, which they were 5.9, but 6-inch guns, 12 of those, and then we're going to try to squeeze on as many of the 4-inch guns as we can, and then we'll just kind of go from there. So what I've decided to do is these casemate guns, they have to be 5-inch, 4-inch won't work. So I've got 14 of them. I know that Scharnhorst didn't necessarily have that. They didn't have this kind of hull either, but this will at least replicate the performance. We've got 14 of these casemate 5-inch guns, which will replace our 14 4-inch guns, which is what Scharnhorst had historically. We've got the speed right at 31 knots. We'll kind of go with what we can with everything else. I've got the turtleback armor scheme. I'm going to go ahead and set all the armor as it was historically next. Let's take a look and see what we've got. All right, so we've got our 6 torpedo tubes. I'm not sure why there's a port weight offset unless I've placed something wrong. I think I've got everything the same, but it appears there must be something that I've got a little bit off that's causing there to be a port weight offset. I'm just not entirely sure what it is because it seems like I've got everything. I think we're missing a casemate gun on this side. Looks like that's the issue. That should solve that problem. Maybe, maybe not. So interestingly, on the Scharnhorst, the torpedo tubes were actually above water. Now, I don't have the information handy, and I'm not going to take the time to look it up to see exactly where those were and what the configuration was. I think what we'll do is we'll just put them in 2 sets of 3 just to make it simple. There were 6 total, 6 21-inch torpedo tubes. So we'll do them like so. Get them up to 21-inch. We'll do standard there. I am going to at least give myself the benefit of the best reloading and electro-hydro turrets and the best rangefinder just to give myself a fighting chance because we're going to have our work cut out for us as it is. So I'm going to kind of max out a lot of the protections just to make it competitive, because I have a feeling otherwise I'm just going to kind of get blown out of the water pretty quickly, because we're up against some pretty significant firepower on the enemy side. We'll give myself Gen 2 radar as well, and at least Sonar 1. Actually, let's go all the way to Sonar 3. Give ourselves every fighting chance we can. 13.8 inches of belt armor, only 2 inches on the deck. 14 inches on the conning tower, 14.2 on the turret, 7.9 turret top. It's going to be rough. It's going to be a tough battle for me to survive just because of what they were up against. So let's talk about what they were up against. The Battle of the North Cape was fought the day after Christmas in 1943. It was the second to last battle ever fought between 2 battleships on opposing sides. The last one, of course, being in the Pacific. But you can see here one battleship, kinda, and 5 destroyers on the German side up against a battleship, which I believe was the Duke of York, along with a heavy cruiser, 3 light cruisers, and 9 destroyers on the British side. The first shots were fired at about 13 kilometers between the enemies. I think we're starting at 15,000. The British had the cruisers were the Belfast. You had the Norfolk, the Sheffield, among those that were there. Pretty light casualties on the British side. 21 killed, 11 wounded. They did take some damage to the battleship, the heavy cruiser, and the destroyer. But on the German side, much more significant. 1,900 killed, 36 captured, and of course, the Scharnhorst was sunk in this battle. So it's going to be tough. And we did forget. All right, all right, let's try that again with the right name. There we go. So this is going to be tough. This is going to be real tough. I don't expect we're going to win, but I want to see if we can at least have a better outcome than what the Germans experienced in this battle. First things first, let's start firing smoke. Just going to attach the other destroyer so they're all together. And just like that, we lost a destroyer. I mean, it happened that fast. What are we? 30 seconds, 40 seconds into the game, and we already lost a destroyer from a 9-inch shell that caused 1,880 damage. Wow, not a great start. So we're going to get our 11-inch guns firing. Let's see what we're firing on. Looks like that's going to be the British battleship right there. I don't know exactly what our 11s are going to do to him. But we've got at least a little bit of time to be behind our smoke cover here. I'm kind of curious to see if our 11s will do anything at all. I'm really nervous about taking a shot to my deck because I've got such thin deck armor. I could see a hooding situation happening. So I landed a 6-inch on one of his other ships. Man, our destroyers are going to go down fast. They need to get some torpedoes in the water and do it fast before we lose them all. So let's be aggressive with those torpedoes, shall we? Alright, we're going to have to slow down if we want to get some accuracy. Although, speed may be my friend in this case, so maybe I don't want to slow down. I think we're just going to have to take our chances. We did get some damage on one of his destroyers, it looks like. Hoping some of my torpedoes will make an impact. We're going to collide with this destroyer who's cutting right in front of me. Go, 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 go. Alright, looks like we're going to just miss. Not that it matters. Oh, big hit on another one of our destroyers. We're going to lose them so fast. And only one of them's even gotten torpedoes in the water so far. They're going to basically be worthless to me in this battle. It's going to be Scharnhorst all alone. I'm not even firing at the moment. At least not with my 11s. Alright, let's switch to another target. There goes another destroyer. And the funny thing is, of course, that I don't think the German destroyers were sunk in this battle. It was just the Scharnhorst. Here come torpedoes now. And another destroyer down. Jeez, 15-inch guns. Yeah, that'd do it. Not a chance. And Scharnhorst was hit pretty quickly in this fight. And I think their ability to... I think it took out something to do with their ability to aim. And it was a snowstorm, so they had a heck of a time seeing anything. So Belfast was the first ship to obtain radar contact on Scharnhorst. And the cruisers rapidly closed range at a distance of 13,000 yards, 12,000 meters. British cruisers opened fire and Scharnhorst responded with their own salvos. While no hits were scored on the cruisers, the German battleship was struck twice, with one shell destroying the forward radar controls and leaving Scharnhorst virtually blind in a mounting snowstorm. And of course, she was already severely outgunned. We just got some torpedoes in the water. We've also got some turning toward us, so we gotta try and cut it here. Most of them are gonna be out of the way. This is the one I'm worried about right here. There goes another destroyer. I'm down to just one now. And they were worthless. I think we're going to be okay from the torpedoes. So we're trying to take out this heavy cruiser. I'm just going to charge right into him. Mainly because I'm going to keep the angle, plus this keeps him from nailing my deck. If I stay close. There we go. Alright, here comes the battleship's 15-inch guns firing on me now. I'm going to try to keep the angle on him. Man, those shots weren't even close. There goes my last destroyer. Now all guns will be trained on me. He's going to have a ton of torpedoes. I guess that's the thing I need to worry about here. Let's start turning away because he's just going to wreck me with torpedoes if I stay close. Yeah, and you can already see all those torpedoes coming in at me. I think we are going to take out his heavy cruiser, though. Oh yeah, we got a flash fire going there. Got some more torpedoes in the water at close range. Got to feel good about the chances on those. I'm a little worried about this torpedo here. I think I might have to cut back over to make sure I miss it, because I might be sticking my bow too far out there. Or my stern, I should say. Alright, we're good. Yeah, let's cut back the other way if we can. Finish him. There we go. Boy, that battleship has got a good shot on me right now. This is making me a little nervous. Another flash fire on the end of my own. That's the end of them. Ooh, yeah, this is where the battleship could really put a hurt on me. I gotta cut this thing back over quickly. Let's put the big guns on the Caledon. I've got, what, 12 torpedoes left. Those are probably my best bet for taking out the battleship, if I live that long. Feeling pretty good having taken out his heavy cruiser. Second biggest ship in his navy, or in his fleet. The Agincourt is the battleship. We're going to have to keep the speed up, even though it's going to hurt my accuracy. It should also hurt his accuracy. Alright, I think we took out a destroyer. We got to watch, though. These torpedoes are going to be coming my way pretty soon. Again. In fact, it's probably a good idea that I start thinking about turning away from them instead of toward them. Let's try to cut this thing over as quick as we can. Oh, nice! Nice hit on the Zebra. Well, we've already outperformed what happened in the real Battle of the North Cape. I mean, we lost 5 destroyers that we didn't lose historically, but at least we're sinking some British ships. Ooh, we just got nailed by 4 15-inch shells. Yeah, I gotta turn away from him as quick as I can here. He's got me dead to rights with broadside right now. Man, we're not hitting anything. There goes the Zebra. Keep turning, baby. Keep turning. Gotta angle ourselves against that battleship. So this was off the coast of Norway, is where this happened, on the north coast. Happened in the morning, around 9 o'clock or so. So without radar, gunners aboard the German battleship Scharnhorst had to aim at the enemy's muzzle flashes, because that's all they could see because of the snowstorm and the lack of radar. And this was made more difficult because 2 of the British cruisers were using new flashless propellant, meaning that Norfolk was the only real target that Scharnhorst had to aim at. And Bay, who was the commander on Scharnhorst, believing he had engaged a battleship, turned south in an attempt to distance himself from the pursuers and draw them away from the convoy. Scharnhorst's superior speed allowed Bay to shake off his pursuers, after which he turned northeast in an attempt to circle around them and attack the undefended convoy that was on the opposite side from where they were. But the British commander, Burnett, he correctly guessed Bay's intentions and positioned his force so as to protect the convoy. And Scharnhorst ran south for several hours, so this was a long battle. Burnett pursued, and both Sheffield and Norfolk suffered engine problems and were forced to drop back, leaving the outgunned Belfast as the sole pursuer and dangerously exposed for a while. The lack of working radar aboard Scharnhorst prevented the Germans from taking advantage of the situation. So that early shot, taking out Scharnhorst's radar, is what kept this from being a more interesting fight, because had that gone differently, Scharnhorst probably could have taken out Belfast, maybe taken out a couple of the British cruisers. But they were prevented from doing so because of that early hit. And Belfast then sent a constant stream of radio signals on the Scharnhorst position, allowing the battleship Duke of York to get through rough seas to reach the German ship. So at about 4:17 in the afternoon, Scharnhorst was detected by Duke of York's radar at a range of 41,500 meters. And by 16:32, so about 15 minutes later, Duke of York's radar indicated the range had closed to 28,000 meters. Belfast fired star shells to illuminate Scharnhorst. Scharnhorst, unprepared for her, with her turrets trained fore and aft, was clearly visible from Duke of York. Duke of York opened fire at a range of about 11,000 meters and scored a hit on the very first salvo, disabling Scharnhorst's foremost turrets. So took out these two turrets here. And another salvo destroyed their airplane hangar. Bay turned north but was engaged by Norfolk and Belfast and turned east at a high speed of 31 knots. Scharnhorst now being engaged on one side by Duke of York and Jamaica, while Burnett's cruisers engaged on the other side. The Germans took a heavy punishment from Duke of York's 14-inch shells. And at 5:24 in the afternoon, a desperate Bay signaled to Germany, "I am surrounded by heavy units." Man, I gotta get turned back around. I gave myself a broadside again. We've got two of his light cruisers down with some damage. I guess we should probably start firing on the Agincourt, at least get my big guns going there. I've got a lot of fire is the problem. Bay was able to put some more distance between Scharnhorst and the British ships to increase his prospects of success. Two 11-inch shells from one of her salvos passed through the mast of the Duke of York, severing all the wireless aerials. And more serious still, the wires leading from the radar scanner to the Type 284 gunnery control radar set. At 18:20, so 6:20 in the afternoon, a shell fired by Duke of York at extreme range pierced the belt armor of Scharnhorst and destroyed number 1 boiler room. Scharnhorst's speed dropped to only 10 knots at that point. And though immediate repair work allowed it to recover to 22 knots, Scharnhorst was now vulnerable to torpedo attacks by the destroyers. So I'm trying to put some distance in between us here. At 18:50, Scharnhorst turned to starboard to engage the destroyers Savage and Saumarez, but this allowed Scorpion and the Norwegian destroyers Stored to attack with torpedoes, scoring a hit on the starboard side. And then Savage and Saumarez scored 3 hits on her port side. Saumarez was hit several times by Scharnhorst's secondary armaments and suffered 11 killed and 11 wounded. Due to the torpedo hits, Scharnhorst's speed again fell to 10 knots. Allowing Duke of York to rapidly close the range. And at that point, it was pretty much all downhill. She took 19 further torpedoes were fired at her. She finally capsized and sank at 7:45 in the evening. Her propellers were still turning at an estimated position, and it gives all that information. So pretty interesting how that all happened. It was actually pretty much the better part of the day. For that battle. She was the second Scharnhorst, of course, to be sunk, because there was a German battleship Scharnhorst sunk in World War I. But we're surviving okay so far. I mean, we're only 20 minutes into this thing, so different story altogether. Of course, the battleship wasn't present early on. We've actually scored some decent hits on Agincourt. I'm going to start turning back the other way a little bit, see if we can get our forward. Ooh, alright, those deflected nicely. So right now we're only firing with our rear turret. Doesn't give me a lot of prospects for success. Let's go ahead and turn around. The problem is now at this distance, we give him a shot at our really thin deck armor and we could see an explosion from that, so we got to get turned around, start closing the distance again. I'm speeding things up here a little bit. What's our distance to Manchester? It's about 7.6 kilometers. Our 6-inch guns have a range of 12. Looks like we're actually firing on some of the other ships at the moment. Here's where we're most vulnerable now. Because we're slowed down due to the turns, it's actually giving me that cruise speed bonus at the moment. He's only got 496 shells left. I don't know if we could survive until he gets low. Certainly a possibility. I'm going to put everything I've got on the Tartar, including the big gun, see if we can nail some hits on him. Try to sink a couple of these secondaries. Only a 1.5% chance of success, though. Oh, is our rear turret out? It is. Darn it. So we're down to just 6 11-inch guns now. Still a really low chance of success. Nice. There's a hit. Pretty good one, too. We're up to 12% chance now. Well, it just dropped again. Hey, we took out the Tartar. Let's go after the Manchester. Agincourt's got a 28% chance to hit me. Jeez. How many hits have we taken? We've taken 820 hits. Most of those got to be secondaries. My goodness. We've inflicted 8,700 damage to only 900 taken, so that's pretty good. Ugh. Don't like taking those deck hits. Maybe let's try to score some big hits on the Agincourt if we can. It's a slower target, which means my odds of hitting are much greater. You can see it's already up to 42%. Maybe we'll get crazy lucky with our 11-inch guns. Got to turn toward her so we can keep the angle as best we can. Man, just can't get enough penetration. Good odds on hitting, though. Just not doing anything with them. Let's aim our torpedoes at Agincourt as well. Oh, speaking of. Gotta cut over to avoid this one here. Good. Alright, we're just going to charge in. I'm not going to try to turn again. Torpedoes are going to become an issue here pretty soon, though. Alright. I think we're about to take out the Caledon. Secondaries are doing their job. Alright, we got another light cruiser down. We just can't do enough damage with 11-inch guns on the battleship. You can see we're landing a lot of hits. They just aren't doing much. almost everything's just ricochets and partial penetrations. Just gotta watch for torpedoes. About to take out a destroyer. Go after the Manchester next. As soon as we finish off the Woolston. Is he turning? I think he is. I think the Agincourt's turning. You know what? Let's turn the big guns. See if we can nail the Manchester at close range. I'm just not doing anything to Agincourt. We're going to take out as much of the German fleet, or the British fleet, as we can. I'm out of torpedoes now. Speaking of... it's gonna be. I don't think I'm gonna avoid those ones. I don't think I can. I can't cut my angle enough to avoid those ones. I think he's got me there. I do have a torpedo bulge, so I'll be able to absorb a couple of hits, but I don't know about 3 of them. Or is that 4? That's 4. Oh yeah, he's got me dead to rights on those. Might have been able to slow down and avoid a couple of them, but I think I'm going to take all 4 of them. 3 for sure. And they're going to hit me in all different spots on the battleship, too. Yep. Oh, here they come. Yep, all 3. That was brutal. Flooding across the entire bottom of the ship. More coming. This was the problem with getting close, and I knew that. I knew this was a suicide mission. My speed's way down now anyway. Come on, let's at least take out the Manchester before we go. There we go. Nice. I took out all of his cruisers. 3 lights and a heavy. Took out at least 1 destroyer. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did he have 9? I can't remember. Yeah, so I took out 2 destroyers, the heavy cruiser, and 3 light cruisers. That's pretty good for the Scharnhorst, considering. We actually stayed on top of the flooding pretty well, but we'll see what happens with this torpedo. Actually, oh, there went a destroyer. Excellent. About to take out the Woolston. All right, there goes the Woolston. Let's turn our guns back on the battleship now. We'll keep our secondaries going. Oh, nice hit. Was that a 6-inch gun? Another big hit. With a 5. Secondaries doing their job, man. Well done. Yeah, Agincourt is going to light me up with these 15-inch guns. Just can't do enough damage. I actually scored a lot of hits. So look at that. I've hit him 91 times. I've hit him 85 times with my 11-inch guns, but only did 515 damage. I also hit him with 1 torpedo. But 42 were completely... or were ricochets, 4 were completely blocked, 12 partial pens versus 22 inches of armor. I just never had a chance against that kind of armament. And here comes the kill. Right here. I wasn't paying attention, and I got 2 torpedoes coming in from 2 different angles. I'm only going to get hit by 2 of them. That might be enough, though. Is it possible one of his own torpedoes could hit the Agincourt? Nah, I think they're too far out in front. Alright, I think that destroyer is just about done. You know what? Sank a heavy cruiser, sank 3 light cruisers, sank what, 3 destroyers? Took the Agincourt down by about half, so it did some pretty serious damage to Agincourt. If this were a campaign, this is a pretty good day. I did lose 5 destroyers. Let's put the big guns on this destroyer at close range. Oh, he's going to be too far past. That's not going to work. Back to the Agincourt. Before we lose the angle on him too, which I'm about to. There goes the Laurel. Nice. My goodness. Well done, boys. Scharnhorst going out like a champ. He's still got 428 shells left. I'm down to just 510. We've only got 3 destroyers left. There goes another one. Man, I tell you what, I can't say enough good things about my secondary gunners. They have been on point in this battle. They have really done their jobs. If I'd had even, say, 13-inch guns, I probably would have won this battle. Or if I would have saved all my torpedoes till right now. Just the 1 destroyer left? It is. Alright, Agincourt. What I wouldn't give for a nice ammo detonation about now on the Agincourt. that torpedo? It's going at the wrong angle. Nothing to worry about. Oh. Oh, that was brutal. Tell you what, though, we have lit the Agincourt up. Not bad for 11-inch guns. And honestly, if I had torpedoes left, I might be able to take her out here. My rudder's damaged. I can't get my turning under control. Got him down to 44%. What? What? No way! There it is! Are you kidding me? Ammo detonation. We got a flash fire. Wow. Hey, Turquoise. Welcome to the new world. Unreal. I can't believe I'm going to win this thing. That was amazing. I did it! Wow, come on guys, you gotta drop a like for that one. That was unexpected. That was a lot of fun. If you have any suggestions, requests, ideas, use the comment section below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.